Oftentimes, the game is won before you get started because teams see what you've been doing and say, well, let's just go into the stadium and get our lumps and go home.
Instead of the 5-point lead, ahead to Pippen off the Cartwright. He lays it in. Let's see if the Bulls can make it a 40-point lead by halftime. And there's a new top dog in the NBA East. It's Michael Jordan and the Bulls as they move ahead of Boston. Yeah!
As the season drew to a close, the Bulls had left the Pistons and the Celtics trampled in their wake. Collecting a franchise record 61 victories, they had stormed to the best record in the East, assuring themselves of the home court advantage through the conference finals. Going into the playoffs, they were riding a tidal wave of momentum. But their attitude reflected the lessons of playoffs past.
By and large, everybody became very dedicated to the fact that we had to prove on the court what we had the year before, that we could play under pressure.
The first opponent, unlucky enough to find themselves in Chicago's path, were the New York Knicks. And the Bulls simply stampeded over them.
Shoots from there, rimming, no, Pippen the rebound. Here come the Bulls storming into the front court. Here's Armstrong, in left, back to Pippen. Oh, in his face!
You make one mistake and boom, we're off. We're up the floor dunking the basketball.
The Bulls would never let the flustered Knicks into the series as they overwhelmed them in 3 games.
Pippen, a facial. Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan!
Oh, please, let's see that again. 100
times. In sweeping past the Knicks, the Bulls had put on a classic Chicago jam session. But against their next opponent, the Philadelphia 76ers, they would unveil a lesser-known part of their arsenal, their defense.
That's going to be the difference in the ballgame. We're going to need to squeeze that ball out of their hands open.
And from the outset, the Bulls suffocated the Sixers with a swarm of defensive pressure.
Phil's idea was to take advantage of Michael and Pippen, who just fly around like sleek Dobermans.
Michael Jordan will play. Oh, my. Here's Anderson. Couldn't find the shot. 2 on the 24. And Pippen stole it from Anderson. Scottie Pippen all the way. What a move.
We rely on our defense to create offense for us, get steals, get easy run-outs, dunks.
Left side, Hodges, a steal, tipped it loose to Pippen. Scottie ahead to Armstrong. Back to Pippen for the jam.
As the series wore on, Philadelphia began to crumble beneath the Bulls' relentless onslaught.
We felt that in the process of putting that kind of pressure on the team that we physically felt them weaken.
Dispatching the Sixers in 5 games, the Bulls had methodically marched through the playoffs' first 2 rounds. And now, the challenge they had awaited all season long was finally at hand.
The Bulls go back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd year in a row, hoping that the 3rd time will definitely be a charm.
18,000 have turned out at Chicago Stadium for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final.
As they looked across at the Pistons, the Bulls knew that their moment of truth was at hand. They were about to confront not only Detroit, but also the ghosts of Pistons past.
Here come the Pistons. Look at the block by Rodman. The Bulls throw it away. The Pistons have now a return trip ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals.
This is a team that we didn't like, and they were at a point where we were trying to get. So it was tough to swallow.
Again, it's the dirty work. Detroit wants it more at this point.
They feel like they can beat us at will.
And time is beginning to run out for the Chicago Bulls.
We
never tired of this feeling. You know, I still remember the pain.
And the Pistons are under a minute from getting to the NBA Finals for the second straight year.
We were in total despair. They had done it to us again. They had beaten us.
The winner of this game plays Portland for the NBA Finals.
Michael's not doing it today. You ain't gonna do it today. Do it today. Do it today.
Robert, and the Pistons want to make Jordan pay.
They do the little things that frustrate us.
And the Bulls overreact, and Pippen lost his cool for a moment.
We fell apart, and the pressure that we had on us came to play.
Chicago Bulls continue to frustrate themselves and their fans.
3, 2, 1, it's over. The Pistons return to the NBA Finals for the third straight time.
For the Bulls, the playoffs have yet to begin. They do start today.
As a unit, we knew that this year we were going to have to get by Detroit. I mean, we could make no more excuses.
And this year's annual confrontation would finally be played under Chicago's terms.
We had any confidence at all. It was the fact to know that we were going to play with the home court advantage. That was crucial because we knew we could beat these guys at home.
The Bulls had worked all season long to change the series setting. Now, they were determined to change its plot.
It's not going to be the same story.
Boldly revising the script, Chicago fearlessly took aim at the heart of the Pistons' defense.
Jordan with Dumars, takes him into the lane, hands it off to Horace Grant inside, he lays it in.
Jordan putting the move on Dumars. The Bulls on fire.
Detroit sounded the alarm and called upon their bench to match fire with fire.
He shoots under pressure, good.
Everybody's saying their bench is better than ours. They're rougher than you guys. They're more aggressive. You guys don't want to tangle with these guys. These guys are going to lose just like you did before. When it came down to play them, the bench, we took it all upon ourselves. We said, look here, we have to go out there and show it to them.
Rising to the occasion, the Bulls' bench would make their message clear.
Oh, what a pass. Livingston from Armstrong. Livingston making a major contribution here. McGuire working off a double team stop by Purdue. Armstrong for Hodges.
Leading the Bulls past the Pistons, Chicago's inspired reserves would make a statement not only to Detroit, but also to their teammates.
I think after that first game, I think guys were looking at each other like, hey, we can beat these guys.
Through the years, defense had been the trademark of Piston playoff supremacy. Now, a confident Bull team sought to beat Detroit at their own game.
Gets underneath, has a shot blocked by Pippen. Super defensive play by Scotty. Pippen on the drive, left corner Paxson. He comes up shooting, good. Yes, sir!
Grant, McGuire baseline right, doubled up, had it chopped away.
Hart right ahead to Jordan. Michael on the drive, in on Vinnie Johnson, all the way to the hoop and lays it in. Oh, there's panic all over the Pistons' faces.
And as Detroit had once done to Chicago, the Bulls would now smother the hapless Pistons.
And was able to steal, leading to the...
Practically reduced to the role of spectators by the Bulls' relentless defense, the Pistons were left with only one option.
They would have to accept the beating that we was given.
An exasperated Detroit team had taken their lumps at the hands of Chicago. But the ever-defiant Pistons retained their swagger.
Usually we'll capitalize in that situation, but, you know, we're a great team, back-to-back world champions. We'll be back.
We're not just going to go down without a fight. I mean, a serious fight. The next game they win, if they win, it's going to be the hardest game that they've ever had to play in their lives.
True to their words, the Pistons employed their personal brand of survival tactics.
We had to take the physical aspect of their game, and we talked about playing through that kind of thing, and the guys were ready to do that. They were mentally very tough.
Refusing to be intimidated, The Bulls calmly executed to perfection.
A battle between Jordan and Dumars, and then Jordan collided with Aguirre. Shot clock is at 2. Pippen, yes.
I got hit with the elbow, and I went down a little bit, and I got up and I was angry. And Michael came over and he said to me, relax, just, don't worry about it. And don't let them see you hurt. If they see you hurt, they're gonna come after you more and more. So just smile and walk away, because it was all out of frustration.
Wire switching off on Pippen. Look out, Pippen sent flying. He knew he was going to get hit.
In the past, we would break down mentally and become individuals, which is the way they want you to be. But as a unit, when everybody's contributing, we were very strong, and we were able to overpower them.
Michael dribbles out to Pippen. Left side, Paxson. He comes up shooting. It's in. Oh, Johnny Paxson. Yes. Stuck on automatic.
Unable to slow Chicago's attack, the Pistons would cling to their game plan, waiting for their pressure to rattle the Bulls.
Yo, listen. They don't execute great in this situation. They'll throw up a wild shot if you play good defense.
But the Pistons would wait in vain.
Sequence by Detroit. Shot clock at 2. Yes, and it counts.
With the game slipping away, it would be the Pistons who would lose their composure. Detroit's pregame predictions had turned out to be empty promises. They had badly underestimated the Bulls, and now it was Chicago's turn to prognosticate.
I felt like we was going to sweep them. Man, I've said it before. The series even ended that we were going to sweep this team.
Pippen and the Bulls had put the specter of past defeats behind them. They would now look to complete their sweep. And Detroit could do nothing to stand in their way.
More than anything else, Scottie showed more discipline. He didn't retaliate, he didn't cry to the referees, he just played basketball. And I think that showed them that they couldn't intimidate us. And after they couldn't intimidate us, I think they felt like we were a better ball club.
Get him! Right here, bang you!
We knew we were in the driver's seat when they were reacting out of frustration.
Totally dominating the Pistons, the Bulls reveled in their long-awaited vindication.
It was a great feeling for these players to know that they had such control and such domination of a team which had put us through so many grinding times together.
Who would have thought sweep?
I was always very confident that we could beat this team. And I felt this year when we faced them, we were ready. We believed in ourselves. We believed in the system that we've been under for the last couple of years.